Um, when I think about the greatness that's going to become whatever institutions we're creating now, whether you're talking about the Black Business School or anything else that you guys are creating, is I don't really care what it looks like right now. If you look at any institution in its first 10 years, it was probably garbage. It was probably trash. Harvard University was trash for about 60 years before it started to really get some real momentum. Right? So if you look across generations, this is consciousness again. Consciousness, the ability to see down yonder, right? Consciousness, if you're consciously building something and you consciously understand what's required, you consciously understand how it's the long-term allocation of resources that makes the difference, then that takes the pressure off and lets you know, like, yeah, you are working on the right thing. Don't let the bully scare you into giving up. That's what happens. And I wish I could talk to some of these athletes and stuff and say, yeah, why don't you have your own NBA or your own NFL? You're doing all the work. Well, because the NFL makes a 20, 30, 50, 80, 100 billion dollars a year and we can't compete with that. Of course you can't. It took 100 years to build the NFL. You really think you could build that in 6 months? No. But if you start something now, then in 100 years you will have something probably greater. In fact, you'll be able to build what the NFL built in 100 years. You'll probably be able to build it in about 30 because you're starting off with far more resources than the original founders of the NFL had back when you could buy the Buffalo Bills for $20,000. Back when the Chicago Bears were purchased for $500. So consciousness is vision. Are you conscious or are you not? If you're conscious, so many things become easy. So many resources become available. So much of the world opens up. And so for those of you that are trying to build, trying to compete, trying to win, be conscious about it. And then just remember the simple rules of wealth. And this is I wish I could get every HBCU to hear me on this. I don't know. Some of them may be afraid to talk to people like me, or maybe they just don't even care what I think. I don't know. Half the time I don't care what I think. But I will say this. You're not gonna really improve black wealth if you keep on producing all these damn employees. That's why the wealth isn't going up. I saw a guy, Robert Smith, go to Howard, or not Howard, I'm sorry, Morehouse, and he paid off all the student loans of all those students. I thought that was really great because, yeah, getting out of debt's important. But I was kind of like, what's the next step? Where's the incubator? Like there should be like a $500 million in some business incubator that can train these young men and women to start businesses and give them connections and capital that will allow these businesses to grow into multi-billion dollar companies. Like you can't just get people out of debt and then say go to work and then start saving your money. No, you need to empower that next generation of business leaders. Who's the black Mark Zuckerberg who's got an idea as good as Facebook right now at Howard University, such that if he got a little bit of funding and a little bit of support, he could turn that into something real and powerful? Or are you gonna let that idea die like the last 10,000 ideas, because they are underfunded? Your ideas are starved of support. They get starved of capital. A starving being, a starving baby cannot live. Even if the baby's going to be the next LeBron James or the next Shaquille O'Neal or Michael Jordan, it won't survive past the age of 2 because you're not feeding the baby. You've got to feed the baby. So we've got to find ways to feed the dreams of young people, give them confidence to pursue the big piece of chicken, the big part of the food chain, and prepare them to truly compete and to develop the kinds of institutions that are going to sustain and build a nation. That's what you need.